Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a zombie horror film. It stains the sands red. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, where chaos is seen everywhere. The state forces are trying to contain the situation. The next scene shows a couple having a road trip in the middle of a desert. They plan to meet their friends in a remote airfield to escape the country. The blonde girl, Molly, asks her boyfriend Nick to pull over the car because she needs to puke. Annoyed, Nick stops the car to prevent her from puking inside. Molly rushes out and pukes on the side of the road. Getting back, Molly goes to the car. However, they find trouble when they realize that their car is stuck in the sand, making it unable to move. Losing hope, the couple gets out of the car to look for help. Nick takes his cell phone and goes to the middle of the road to try getting a signal. Fortunately, he gets a little bit of reception and can contact his friend. However, the signal soon goes out and the phone call ends suddenly. They then see a zombie in the middle of the road, approaching them slowly. Due to fear, Nick trembles his muscles and runs toward the car. He opens one of the containers and takes a gun for their protection. He then points it at the zombie. With a few shot attempts, Nick successfully targets the zombie's body, making the undead creature fall to the ground. The couple shouts out loud and hugs each other. However, after they exchange lips, the zombie suddenly starts moving again. To their shock, they witness the zombie approaching them again. Nick shoots it in the head, but it is ineffective to finish the zombie off. Nick runs out of bullets while the zombie gets nearer. They rush to the car and try driving away. However, the car remains stuck to the sand. Fortunately, the zombie is not strong enough to break the car's window. Nick says that they should give the zombie some time, so it would lose interest eventually. However, the sun already goes down and the zombie is still lingering in their presence. While the couple is arguing, they notice that the zombie has suddenly disappeared. To ensure that the zombie is gone, Molly takes her flashlight to survey the area, but finds nothing. Nick says he needs to pick up his phone that he dropped earlier on the road. Confident in their plan, they both get out of the car to fetch the phone. Luckily, Molly finds it with such ease. However, she sees the zombie come back and attacks her boyfriend brutally. Nick screams in his chicken voice as the zombie bites his neck. He dies not long after, and the zombie eats his body in smelly part. Shocked by what she sees, Molly takes her bag and prepares to escape the area. When the zombie approaches the car, she goes out and runs for her life. Having no choice, she settles in the middle of nowhere and cries for the death of her boyfriend. It is now morning. There is a signal on Nick's phone. Molly contacts their friend, begging him not to leave her behind. However, the friend is annoyed and does not promise Molly to wait for her at the airfield. Still, she remains calm and plans to walk to the airfield, even though it is far. The sun sets, and Molly is still walking in the desert, hoping to reach the airfield in time. While resting, the zombie from before tackles her from behind, making her fall down. She chokes the zombie and slams him in the zombified face. Molly then runs to escape and climbs a small hill to keep herself safe from the zombie. After a scary night, Molly wakes up to the presence of the zombie again. To distract the zombie, she takes her bloody tampon and throws it as far as she can. Hungry for human blood, the zombie goes to the tasty tampon to eat it, while Molly runs in the opposite direction. Still, the zombie loses interest and starts targeting Molly again. Fortunately, Molly is faster than the zombie and can escape for a little while. Molly is confident that she will be safe because the zombie is slow. The day continues as Molly walks toward the airfield, while the zombie remains on her tail. She finds a cottage in the desert. She goes inside and takes shelter for a while. However, after sleeping for a bit, she wakes up only to find the smelly zombie again. So she hides in the bathtub to cover her smell, hoping the zombie will not know where she is. While trying to be silent, Molly feels a scorpion crawling on her tummy. The scorpion crawls up to her face, making her uncomfortable. Luckily, the zombie goes away. Annoyed by the scorpion, Molly kills it without hesitation. The scene continues with the same routine. Molly walks, and the zombie remains on her tail. The sun sets down, and it is time again to rest. She climbs a small hill again, so that the zombie cannot reach her. While resting, she remembers her memories. In the morning, Molly receives good news. Her friend says they encountered a car problem and would be delayed for a day. This makes her glad as she thinks she can go to the airfield on time. Unfortunately, she starts feeling tired. She does not have any water supply anymore. Apparently, Molly is starting to reach her limits. Still, Molly insists on struggling for one more day. She refuses to quit whatever it takes for her survival. Molly smiles a bit when she gradually sees signs of civilization. However, it does not end well when a sandstorm suddenly strikes the desert. Molly runs in the opposite direction, hoping the sand will not reach her. However, it is no use because the storm is so strong. She trips and falls to the ground. While stuck in the middle of the storm, the zombie appears out of nowhere and tackles Molly. With reduced mobility and vision, Molly finds it hard to avoid the zombie. Still, she manages to escape and survive the deadly sandstorm. Molly wakes up with her body covered in sand. Fortunately, she sees people driving cars in the middle of the road. The strangers then stop the car and check if Molly is okay. Molly laughs hysterically as she cannot believe help is finally coming. One of the strangers named Ted gives her water and Molly chugs it in seconds without hesitations. The good strangers help her stand up, leading her toward their car. While inside, Molly realizes that she left her bag in the desert. As soon as she plans to fetch it, the strangers advise Molly to rest. The good strangers then go to the desert and try to find the bag themselves. While alone in the car, Molly sees a family picture posted. She realizes that the strangers are not the owner of the car. She also sees the uniforms of prisoners lying in the car. The strangers then ask about the airfield. Molly admits that her friends may have already left and there is nothing for them to expect. Still, Ted insists that they should check if there are extra airplanes. He says that he knows how to drive an airplane. However, because of what she found earlier, Molly now feels uncomfortable. She thanks the strangers for helping her, but says she should be on her own again. Ted says he cannot afford to leave her in the desert because it is dangerous. Still, Molly says that she will be fine. When Molly attempts to leave the car, she finds the door is locked. Then, the stranger from behind covers Molly's head with plastic, making her breathing very difficult. Ted then takes Molly outside. He threatens her that he will cut her skin using his knife if she does not tell them where the airfield is. Molly says where the airfield is. However, the strangers are not satisfied. Ted uses his strength to take hold of Molly, and his fellows remove her pants and abuse her, causing her to scream in pain. During the chaos, the zombie appears like a GPS gadget and bites Ted's neck as a welcome greeting. While the deadly zombie feasts on Ted's body, the other stranger hops on his car and runs for his shitty life, while Molly is left in the middle of the road, exhausted. Unconscious, Molly finds herself staring at the zombie. Luckily, some supplies are left by the stranger. Molly breaks down in the middle of the heat, bawling her eyes out, but she sees the zombie chasing after her again. She walks again toward the airfield. Unlike before, she now enjoys the company of the zombie. While walking, Molly talks to the zombie and says she has been through a lot. She also wonders why bad things happen to good people. At this point, she is dumping her feelings on the zombie. When she sees a tire on the ground, she takes it and puts it on the zombie's body. She then ties the tire to her stuff and makes the zombie drag it, training it to be a Tesla zombie. With it, Molly could now freely walk without dragging heavy weights. On their way, Molly confides to the zombie about her family issues. She admires her siblings, while she despises herself. She says that her sibling is a better parent to her son. Finally, Molly completely takes hold of the zombie when she ties him to the rock. She checks her phone and sees that she is more than 2 miles away from the airfield. This reveals that her destination is already nearby. Before leaving, she bids the zombie farewell. She reassures the zombie that he will be fine no matter what. With a heavy heart, Molly attempts to leave the area. However, she could not just leave the poor zombie alone, so she sets the zombie free. This reveals that she could not afford to abandon the zombie, like what she did to her son in the past. After getting freed, the zombie aggressively approaches Molly. However, Molly tries to tame him by shouting, which is effective. Interestingly, the zombie does not attack Molly even if he wants to. At this point, Molly is starting to build a rapport with the zombie. Later at night, Molly talks about her lovely son to the zombie. She cries as she recollects the memories with her son. In the morning, Molly is happy that she finally finds the road. Suddenly, a military vehicle appears out of nowhere. Worried, Molly rushed to hide the zombie. She fears getting the zombie killed by the military. They can hide on the side of the road. However, one of the trucks stops and looks for them. Molly asks the zombie to be quiet so that the soldiers will not find them. Trying to distract the soldiers, Molly confronts them and reassures them that everything is fine. The soldiers are worried and offer Molly to join them, but Molly refuses. Just as everything is going fine, the zombie appears suddenly. Molly uses her own body as a shield to protect the zombie. She reiterates to the authorities that the zombie will not hurt anyone. Even though confused, the soldiers left Molly and the zombie alone. However, when one soldier returns to their truck, he shoots the zombie in the leg, making him fall. While checking on the zombie, Molly is shocked when the zombie bites her finger. Angry, she shouts at the zombie. Fearing being infected, she immediately puts alcohol on her fingers. However, she sees her finger already looking different. To prevent further infection, Molly takes a big rock and smashes her finger off. She screams in pain with every hit she does with her finger. She then confronts the zombie again, blaming him for losing her finger. She realizes that the zombie is heavily injured and cannot walk alone. With no choice, Molly drags and carries her Tesla zombie, despite its heavy weight. After dragging and walking for some time, Molly finally sees the airfield. She looks depressed when she sees her dear zombie in a vegetative state. She encourages the zombie to accompany her for a little bit more. However, the zombie is unable to move. Curious, Molly sees a wallet on the zombie's suit. As she opens it, she realizes that the zombie is a married man in his past life. To end his suffering, Molly decides to mercy kill him. She takes a massive rock and smashes it into the zombie's head. The scene then transitions into Molly finally reaching the airfield. She is shocked as she suddenly hears gunshots nearby. She hides in the bottom of the car. Fortunately, she realizes that it is her friend. This reveals that her friend did not leave her behind, and she still has a chance of escaping the country. The friend then asks Molly where Nick is. Molly replies with silence, implying that her boyfriend is already dead. The friend then tours Molly in the airfield while talking about his struggles. The friend says they locked their other colleagues in a room because they are infected. They find hope when they see their airplane fully working. However, Molly chooses not to join her friends on the escape journey. Rather, she goes to the office and uses a telephone. But she is not able to contact her family. Emotional, Molly remembers her lovely son again. She tries to use the telephone again, and finally, it rings. She can talk with her son, and she promises to get to him as soon as possible. Molly goes out of the office to take the car, but she has no keys. She thinks the keys could belong to the infected people locked in the room. She then breaks into the room to search for the keys. While she's searching, she is attacked by a bearded zombie. Fighting back, she uses her weapon to repeatedly hit its head, eventually making him unconscious. However, the bearded zombie also does not have the keys, but only its beard. She's confronted by another zombie and falls to the ground because of fear. She finds a drill and uses it to drill through the zombie's head, killing it. Finally, she finds the car keys to the zombie's jacket. She immediately drives the car and hopes to visit her son. She smiles while driving as she hopes to see her son once again. On her way to the village, she witnesses a sea of dead people and broken things. Fortunately, she sees the house where her son is residing. Molly goes inside, only to see her family already infected. She still hopes to find her son alive. She carefully goes upstairs to his room. However, her son is nowhere to be found. Molly cries as she sees one of her son's precious toys. Luckily, Molly hears a sound outside and sees her son hiding in a small tent. She promises never to leave him again, and she will never escape from anything. Not long after, a sea of zombies raid the house, and the scene flashes away as Molly finally learns how to fight for her son and protect what is hers. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.